Okay, let's go ahead and continue crafting for Christmas. And we're going to do a variety of crafts tonight, but the first one that I just have to do is make this wood sign. So I have a really large sign here. I think I got this at Michael's a while ago. And I added, it was bare wood originally, I added a single layer of chalk paint only because I really wanted it to be a little bit more of a whitewash look. And then I have this really pretty design here that I'm going to go ahead and place right on this sign. So I saw this and I instantly knew I wanted to have some kind of oversized sign in our kitchen this year. And this was perfect because I think this would be really fun in a little coffee bar area. And obviously this would be a little hot cocoa bar during the winter season, or if you're having a little winter party, that would be wonderful as well. Okay, so we have all these tiny little pieces that are going to come out from the inside of these words, which is really neat. So I'm going to go through and see if I can't grab all of those fairly quickly and get those weeded out. So how is everyone's Christmas crafting coming along? We have been crafting for 3 weeks now for Christmas, so let me know if you have recreated any of the crafts that we did together in any of the previous videos, or let me know what other ideas you have decided to run with this year. Christmas crafting is always so much fun. And if you want additional inspiration, I will place a playlist down in the description box below that will contain all of my Christmas crafting videos. That way it'll give you a fun idea for what has happened in the years past, and you can get some additional inspiration. Okay, so this is a little bit of a labor of love, but the detail in it is really, really neat. Okay, I have it all ready to go. Now I'm noticing I am on the very end of my transfer tape. Do you remember when I bought this 2 years ago? I fell in love with it. Black Friday. Took a whim, or bought it on a whim. Thought I'll just give this a try. I don't know what this transfer tape's like. It's a good deal, and I will never use anything different. It is amazing. So I am finally on my last bit of it. It lasted quite a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another piece over here, but let me trim this down. That way I use just enough of it. Let's see, where did those scissors walk off to? Okay, so I have this initial piece here, and I'll place it down as much as it can fit, and then I will add another piece over here. So if you ever run into this pickle, let me see if this would work. Oh, it will. If you ever run into a situation where you don't have quite enough transfer tape, you can overlap the transfer tape just like this. So make sure you overlap in an area, whoops, and then as long as you overlap, it will become one big piece. Okay, so grabbing my scraper tool, I will start to burnish this down. Let me know if you do a little hot cocoa station. I think they are so fun. A really good idea for a winter party, right? I think it's just super cute and super fun. All right, we'll do the back as well. That really helps peel up that vinyl. Okay, now let's see, which way do I want to go? Go this way. Go ahead and make sure that stays down. Take our time there. Oops, this little piece. Sometimes you just have to kind of nudge a piece back into place. There you go. Now let's just center this on our sign. That looks pretty good. Let's see, I think I'm going to bring that down just a little bit. Okay, I think that looks good. So I'll lay that down, and then again come back in with this scraper, really burnish, and then I can keep this transfer tape for later projects. I'll just put it right back on that liner that I had, and we can reuse it. All right, here is the first little section. Going nice and slow, and you can just kind of re-burnish any areas apparently I didn't do that E as well as the rest. There we go. Okay, so that first little piece is off. Again, I'll save that, and then I can go through and remove this second little bit. Okay, I think I do need to reburnish a little bit, finding that it wants to kind of come up with my transfer tape. And there we go. I love this. Oh, it's so cute. So I'll be sure to link the design down below in case you want to recreate this. You'll know where I found it and you can purchase it for yourself. But I love that look. I think it is so super pretty. I really like the size of it too. I think it would be a really nice backdrop to a little display. You could have your little bowls full of candy canes, marshmallows, chocolates, and it would just be a really fun little area. So this is a fun idea for a holiday party, but also just for a really fun little piece of decor for your kitchen as well. Okay, I found this tin at Hobby Lobby and I was sharing this in my fall haul, just grabbing a little bit of rubbing alcohol to place on the front, and I'm going to simply wipe that down, make sure that the surface is really clean and ready to receive the vinyl. Just removing any dirt or oils, and that should be just fine. I'll link that Hobby Lobby haul that I did during the fall time, and I was sharing a bunch of fun things that I found, and this tin was one of them. I love these because they release them pretty much every season, so you have lots of fun little colors for the season that you're in. It's just a really neat kind of size and tin. We use these for library books. It's a really fun and perfect size. Little storage for that. So what I was going to do this time is I thought it would be fun. My parents like to save their Christmas cards each season, and they put them in a little area as they receive them, and then they open them together on Christmas afternoon. So I thought it'd be fun to have a little bin for them to sort their little Christmas cards and have a little place for them to just be while they're waiting for Christmas Day. And I thought that would be a cute little idea. Okay, let me grab my scraper. I'm reusing that piece from last time, and it just about covered everything. Not quite, but that will be just fine. Okay, there's the back. Now I have this little kind of rib there that I think I want to avoid, and that's going to make it so that my design is off center, up and down wise really. But let's just see how that would look. I think it will still look neat. I could put it right over and then just, I suppose, kind of burnish it into place. I don't know. Should I? Would it look better? You know what I could do is pretty much most of the letters fall right under that line there, and then really it would only be the little antlers that would kind of go up and over. And I think that is actually the right choice because you're not going to notice it as predominantly as you would if the letters kind of bent over. So I think we'll do that. The antlers are so tiny and they're kind of detailed enough that you're not going to notice it like you would this big solid piece. Okay, I'm going to avoid the exposed vinyl area, and then let's peel that up and see how that did. Let's be careful there. It really wants to come up. Okay, come on. There we go. Oh, that looks really nice, actually. You can't even tell. Okay, so there is that little bin. Again, we usually use this for library books and things like that, but I think that this would be a really fun little place to put your little Christmas cards. So there we go. Okay, recently I was at Dollar Tree and I found all of these pieces separate from one another. So I found these wooden pieces all separate from this big wooden stake, if you will. And I thought it would be really neat to add some chalk paint to the smaller pieces and then place them on, it's so hard to see on camera, place them on this really nice stick and create like a little garden stick. Now, you don't really have a lot of room down here, I will admit. I did want to have some room up here just because I like that look, but you could still find a way to get that in your little garden, or I like the idea of kind of having this lean against the house, maybe around your front door. So anything that you wish is very cute. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I used a fun font that I will link down below, and I just spelled out Santa Claus Lane, and I thought it would be a super fun idea to have a cute little sign for the front door area. These are always super fun. Okay, let's see if I can get my vinyl. There we go. And all the little middles. This is such a fun font. I liked the playfulness of it. Definitely go grab this. It is really pretty for all seasons, actually. I think it's kind of fun and funky for doing kid things. It's got a little retro vibe for doing a little bit more trendy little projects, but I also think it makes for a kind of playful Christmas font, which I really like. Okay, having a little bit of sticky fingers here with this vinyl today, but that's okay. Let me just get the last little bit and we should be good to go. Okay, there we are. So let's find some of that transfer tape. Again, we will reuse what we have been using. And that way, we are making the most of our craft supplies. All right. So I'm gonna burnish that down front and back, and then I will trim this apart. My other scissors are completely lost right now. How many of you lose your craft scissors from time to time? I could have, and I've mentioned this before, I could have 4 scissors, one on each corner of my desk, and I feel like I could always not find what I need. It's just the way it is. Okay, isn't that cute? I think that's kind of fun. Again, it's super playful. Place that and burnish that down. Okay, then we'll use this piece to place over our last little piece of vinyl. Okay, always reusing. And let's do this one. Well, that's fine. I was gonna say, I wanted to go in order, but it doesn't matter. As long as they all get on there and they're all centered, it's just fine. Santa and Lane. There we go. Okay, and then finally, our last part of this. So now is the time for me to go finally order another roll of transfer tape. Didn't think this day would ever come. That roll lasted so long. So impressed. Really had a lot of beautiful creations created with that whole roll of tape. Okay, so there is that fun idea. Let's see what else we can make. Okay, another Dollar Tree inspired Christmas craft. They always have really fun little vertical signs, and they do put these out just about every season. I love to grab them, paint them white with that chalk paint once again. And you can paint this side, which I usually do, but I did it this way this time. Kind of liked that look. And then what I'm going to do is just make a fun little design going down my little board here, or sign here. Okay, so let me get this weeded out. This one's super cute. We're gonna have a couple little colors here, but I will admit I did a little bit of editing on this design. So I did some contouring. They had a little bit of a border surrounding this, and I really wanted this particular sign to be very simple. So I contoured out the surrounding area and a couple other elements. Now, if you need help learning how to contour, it's a super helpful tool to be able to learn and know how to use in Design Space. So I'll place a link to that video down below so you can learn how to contour. And the reason why I think it's so important to learn is that it allows you to personalize some designs. Well, personalize might not be the right word, but if you need to kind of edit some of the designs to maybe fit the look you're going for or something like that, then contouring is a really helpful technique that you should learn. Okay, so I also have, instead of an eye, this design had a really cute Christmas tree, which I thought was super fun. Okay, there we go. And this is what our sign's gonna look like. Isn't that fun? I think it's so simple. Okay, let's grab some transfer tape, and I'm thinking I'm going to need to do my little trick once more, and really it's only going to be for the little R down there. Just barely have enough. So let's get this right up here. Okay, so just about enough, and then we'll just overlap one of our pieces, and now we have one nice long piece. All right, as always, let's burnish front and back. We'll get this placed on this sign. Now, I know most of you know this, especially my tried and true crafters who've been crafting with me for quite a while, but one of my favorite places to put these is in the inside of a front door. I feel like the inside of a door is a wonderful place to decorate. It's a nice vertical space, and it's just as important as the outside, right? I think it's just a really fun area that you can hang these little bit smaller signs, but it spans a good area. Okay, I think that looks great. So let's once more get this pressed down really nice so that that transfers over to that wooden piece. And we can add our tiny little tree. Okay, being careful not to scratch my wood, and then also being slow here. Oh, that transferred really nice. All right. Okay, now let's just use this little piece for our tree. And then, there we go. Okay, let's line this up really nicely. I love the idea of having a little picture instead of a word. I think that is so cute. Such a well thought out design. Okay, and then once more, oops, maybe I'll try this side. Okay, I'll just take that right off. And there is our fun little sign. Let's see if we can do it kind of in a diagonal so you can see the whole thing at once, but that's really sweet. And again, this is from Dollar Tree, so very affordable. These would make really fun gifts as well. You could absolutely mass produce these very quickly, and it would be a nice fun gift that is more on the affordable end. Okay, grabbing my cup cradle here because we just have to make a fun little mug and do a little tiny cleanup really quick. I have a fun design, and I kind of oversized this. I thought it would be super cute to make this a little bit big. And I used that same font that I used earlier when I did the little outside sign. And I just spelled out Mrs. Claus. Thought this was really fun. I love the color of this mug. It's just way too pretty. Very fun and wintry. All right, last little piece. Oops, let's make sure we get our C there. And there we are. Isn't that fun? Okay, grab my little middles of the A, and then of course we want to add some rubbing alcohol to the surface. Make sure this is nice and clean. Now when you are putting vinyl on drinkware, once you give it to whomever you're giving it to, or if it's making it for yourself, you'll just want to make sure that you are mindful to hand wash it only and avoid the microwave. You'll also want to make sure you're not leaving it sitting in any type of open water. That way the vinyl doesn't get disturbed. Okay, that's a little bit of a long piece, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it because I wanna save this nice long piece for something else. So I'm not gonna trim that down. And there we go. Okay. Oh, I think that's so fun. And then I'm leaving ample room to sip. Since vinyl is not considered food safe, you just want to give yourself room to sip your yummy drink without your lip coming into contact with the vinyl. Okay, go. And slowly peel that away. Okay, there it is. Isn't that fun? I think that's super cute. Now, the one thing about these cups that drive me bonkers is that I feel like I really have to make a concentrated effort to have the lid line up exactly where I want it, because I am so picky about wanting my lid and where I sip to be centered here. And I've said this before, and I got a major hallelujah from so many of you, so I know I'm not the only one that gets picky about this, but I can go ahead and fidget with that at a different time, but I'm gonna get that all lined up. So how fun. I love that. The color's super neat, and I think it's a fun little sentiment on a cup for the holiday time. All right, let's go ahead and do a fun little iron-on craft. I'm going to make a little tea towel with some glitter iron-on, but before I start that process, I'm going to preheat my Easy Press 2. Let me bring this all the way in, and I am going to do a temperature of 330 degrees and a time of 30 seconds. So I'm going to get those preferences all placed into my Easy Press, and I will wait for that to chime, indicating that it has reached the temperature that I need. And in the meantime, I'm going to, now this is a very good project for using your scrap iron-on. I went through my scrap bin. If you don't know how I store my scraps, I'll place a video link to that. I have been using the same storage method for over, has it been over maybe just about 3 years now. Well, I have only used one method because it works so well for me, and it really helps me cut down on my crafting costs when I can just really organize my scrap. So I'll place that video for you. That way you can get inspired with it as well. But I went to my little scrap area and I found a tiny piece, and we're just going to make a cute little dish towel. Isn't that fun? Okay, so what I'm going to do first, and you know what? I'm not even going to unfold that. It'll be just fine. As this is reaching desired temperature, I'm going to simply give this a little pre-press, make sure it is nice and straight, but also make sure there's no moisture in the material. And then let me go ahead and remove the current liner, because it looks like it's a little bit used up. And I'm going to just run this lint roller right over here, make sure it's nice and clean, and then I can place my design where I'd like it. Just about there. Okay, isn't that pretty? I think that's fun. Okay, wow, I couldn't have timed that better. Now I'm going to place my press right over, press the go button, and then I'm going to give that firm pressure. So I'm going to apply as much muscle as I can, and I'll let that count down from 30 seconds. All right, there we go. And now I'm going to remove this from my little desktop ironing board. I made this, and I'll place a link to the tutorial where I create that if you want to make one for yourself. Now I'll just turn this over, that way it comes into contact with a nice cool surface, and this just helps draw out that heat faster. You, of course, could just set it to the side and let it cool naturally. I'm just a little bit more of an impatient crafter. I like to get things done. So once that is nice and cool, you can go ahead and remove your liner. And if for some reason you're noticing any areas where your iron-on isn't laying down, you can simply place the liner right back over your iron-on. You want to make sure that you place this on there so you can create a barrier once more in between your heat source, which is your press, and your iron-on. You don't want to put your press onto exposed iron-on. So place that right back over, give additional heat, and you should be good to go the second time you peel. But isn't that pretty? I love that that beautiful glitter just gives it a little bit something more. I think it actually adds a little bit of contrast since it's almost a little white on white in some areas. It gives it the pop that it needs to stand out on that a little bit more busy background. All right, there we go. That is all I have for tonight's Christmas crafts. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you were inspired in some way. I know you all are busy crafting for Christmas, so be sure to let me know what you're crafting as well. And if you're still watching and you've made it to the last craft, go ahead and put a little Santa or a Christmas tree emoji down in the comment section. And I can't wait to hear what is on your craft table as well. I am so equally inspired by you too. Okay, let's craft again soon. I'll see you in the next video.